I think I'll process the red dragon fruit into dragon fruit wine with mixed berries. We're using 1 kilogram of red dragon fruit weighed with the skin, which is about 3 fruit. The mixed berry looks like this. This one is from the brand Nestle. Today we're using 1 packet of mixed berry powder. For the white granulated sugar, you can use any brand on kilogram. 1 liter of water, which we'll use to boil the sugar first. Now, Aunt Moo has already prepared the dragon fruit flesh, so let's move on to the next step. In this step, Aunt Moo pours 1 liter of water into the pot to boil. Turn on the stove. Once the water starts to heat up, Aunt Moo adds the red dragon fruit in. Okay, add 1 kilogram of sugar. Pour the sugar in and quickly stir. Friends, otherwise the sugar will stick to the bottom of the pot and it will smell burnt. We should stir the sugar first to let it start dissolving. Once you stir the sugar, you can add the mixed berry powder. I'll add the mixed berry powder now, pouring it in gradually. People are going with you. Otherwise, the powder will clump up. Here, I'm using the whole packet. For this dragon fruit wine recipe, you don't need to boil it for long, just let the sugar and berry powder dissolve. Then you can turn off the heat. Here, the sugar and mixed berry powder have completely dissolved. You can see that the liquid has become clearer like this. As you stir, there are no more granules left. Once both types of tofu have fully dissolved, we can turn off the stove. Now, I've already turned off the stove. We need to let the dragon fruit water we boiled cool down to room temperature first. Then we'll move on to the next step. At this point, the boiled dragon fruit water has reached room temperature, so I'll add the remaining water. We're using a total of 5 liters, and it must be drinking water. Pour it in at this stage. After we've added the drinking water, mix the ingredients together well. In this step, we'll separate some of the water to test the yeast. Pour a portion of the water into a small bowl like this, and we'll use it to test the yeast. Today we're using wine yeast. I'm using half a tablespoon, and we'll add it to the bowl with the separated water. Stir the mixture until it's well combined. We'll let the yeast activate first for about 1 to 2 minutes. While we're waiting for the yeast to work, we'll go ahead and pour the water into the fermentation bucket. Now, as you can see, our yeast has become nice and frothy like this. When the yeast is frothy like this, it means the yeast is of good quality and ready to use. If the yeast is expired, it's very easy to tell. When you test the yeast, the water will stay clear and the yeast granules will just sink to the bottom of the cup. That means the yeast is dead. If it becomes nice and frothy like this, we can pour it straight into the fermentation tank. Go ahead and prepare your fermentation tank. Once you pour the yeast in, make sure to close the lid of the tank tightly first. We're going to shake the tank. Shaking the tank helps increase the oxygen inside, and it also helps the yeast break up faster, allowing it to work more quickly. After we finish shaking the tank, we need to loosen the lid so that it's only half tight. Like this. Loosen it so that the lid can move a bit just like this. That's enough. Loosening the lid like this helps the air inside the tank to escape, so you don't need to use an airlock. Once we've loosened the lid, we'll write a sticker label and stick it on. We put a sticker on it to note what kind of wine we're making. So Moo is making dragon fruit mixed berry wine dated August 30, 2024. We'll ferment it at room temperature for about 15 days. Once the 15 days are up, Auntie Moo will give you an update on how much we like the taste of our red dragon fruit wine. So stay tuned, everyone. Today we're going to update you on the dragon fruit mixed berry wine. Auntie Moo has been fermenting it for up to 20 days now, and the fermentation process has already been stopped. Now we're going to separate out the sediment and stop the yeast. Just pour it through a strainer. We finished straining it. As for the leftover sediment like this, we won't use it. We'll just throw it away. For those who like their wine a bit sweeter, you should ferment it for 15 days. But if you follow my method and ferment it longer, up to 20 days, the yeast will consume all the sugar and turn it into more alcohol. The more sugar the yeast eats up, the less sweetness will remain, and you'll get more bitterness and astringency. Some people actually like the bitter and astringent taste in wine, so there's no need to add any sugar. We can go ahead and knock out the heat right away. But if you wanted to have some alcohol and a slightly sweet taste, today I'll show you how to adjust the flavor by adding white granulated sugar like this. If you taste the wine and find it only slightly bitter and astringent, add 30 grams of granulated sugar. But if you taste the wine and it's very bitter and very astringent, add 50 grams of granulated sugar. We'll add it at this stage. Turn on the stove. After pouring in the granulated sugar, stir it right away. Otherwise, the sugar will stick to the bottom of the pot and burn, causing a bad smell. Calibrating the thermometer is very important. If you don't have one yet, you can order it from Kamu. Kamu sells the exact same model that I use. Just insert the batteries and try turning it on. Some models turn on with their own button, while others use the temperature symbol to power on. Turn it on first so the device is ready. We'll use the body mode like this. If you want to check whether the thermometer is working, just point it at your own hand and take a reading. When you point it at your own hand, it will display your body temperature like this, which means the device is working. When we use the thermometer with wine, we need to stir the wine like this while measuring. Stirring the wine gently and steadily causes the heat to slowly evaporate upwards, allowing the thermometer to more easily detect the warmth in the surrounding air. When you point the thermometer and stir the wine at the same time, the temperature will gradually and steadily rise, just like this, indeed. Right now it's measuring exactly 40 degrees C. At this point, we'll turn off the stove. Now we've already turned off the stove. Once we've cooled the yeast mixture down to 40 degrees C, we need to turn off the stove and immediately remove the pot from the heat. We will let it rest until it reaches room temperature first, before pouring it into the aging tank. Do not pour the wine into the aging tank while the wine is still high in temperature. It will form steam and white spots while we are aging it. The wine will smell rotten. When the wine is at room temperature, it will be updated in the next step. Now we have let the dragon fruit mixed berries reach room temperature. We will pour it into the aging tank. Now we pour the dragon fruit wine into the fermentation tank. Aunt Moo will teach you how to knock out the yeast in 2 steps by adding potassium metabisulfite, also known as KMS. It looks like fine granules similar to salt. For those following Aunt Moo's recipe, which uses 5 to 6 liters, we'll use 2 blue scoops of this chemical. Just add it directly into the tank. 2. KMS dissolves quite easily. As soon as you scoop it into the tank, it dissolves right away. This chemical is a stabilizer. It helps preserve the color, taste, and flavor of the wine so they don't change from what we made. After adding the KMS, you can go ahead and seal the tank with this lid. Remember, all chemicals are hazardous, so not inhale them and keep them out of reach of children. Now, we move on to the fermentation stage. After fermenting for 2 nights, check the cloth-covered tank and press down on the lid like this. You can continue fermenting at room temperature for an extended period. However, if the tank becomes swollen and the lid is too tight to press down, loosen the lid just like when we were first fermenting and continue to let it ferment at room temperature. I, Aunt Moo, will ferment at room temperature for about 2 weeks. Once the 2 weeks are up, we'll come back and see if our dragon fruit mixed berry wine has developed a beautiful color. How delicious will it taste? I'll update you soon. Today I'm here to give you an update on the dragon fruit mixed berry wine. Now, we've been fermenting for 2 weeks. Take a look at the color of our wine, everyone. See? The color of the wine is so beautiful and inviting to drink. Today, I'm going to teach you how to bottle the wine by adding potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate comes in small stick-like granules, kind of like sugarcane pieces. See? This substance inhibits the growth of yeast. When we add it, it helps prevent the yeast from growing and stops it from becoming active again. Potassium sorbate is very easy to use. For bottles size 300 to 500 ml, I add 1 spoonful of sorbate. If it's a large bottle like this, for bottles between 500 and 1000 ml, we add 2 spoonfuls of sorbate like this. Just scoop out 1 spoonful like this and pour it directly into the bottle. When lifting the wine container, I grip it firmly with my wrist. Holding it this way helps prevent the sediment at the bottom of the container from getting stirred up. Just lift and pour it right away. See? Like this, the sediment doesn't rise at all. I'm just showing you one bottle as an example. Once we've poured the wine into the bottle like this, seal the cap tightly. See how beautiful the color is? Make sure to close the bottle cap securely. Don't forget to write a label and stick it on, noting what kind of wine you've made or write down its details. Then, let it age at room temperature for a long time. After 3 to 5 months, it will become even clearer. The taste of the wine will become more mellow. The wine itself will also become thicker as it ages. Now, today we're going to taste it and see how much we like the flavor of our dragon fruit mixed berry wine. Take a look at the color of the wine, everyone. It looks so inviting. The aroma is wonderful. Now Dad Moo is going to taste it. Friends. Oh, it's really delicious. The fragrance rises right up to your nose. After we've fermented it, everyone, we get wine of this quality. The taste is really bold and strong, everyone. Doesn't it look tempting to drink? My teaching is very detailed, everyone. Go watch the instructional video from start to finish. Take your time to watch and study it gradually. There's no need to rush. Developing expertise takes quite a bit of time, everyone. You can't become skilled overnight. Just follow along, learn step by step, and you'll succeed. Don't skip around in a video. If you skip ahead, you'll miss out on valuable technique. There are many things I teach in a video that you can't just skip ahead through. And each type of wine has different ingredients, and the fermentation and aging times are different for every flavor. So don't just watch one video and assume you can make everything the same way. It doesn't work like that. If you want to make grape wine, watch the grape wine video. And even grape wine comes in many different flavors. As for dragon fruit wine, I've made several different flavors as well. But this particular one will be very much to your liking. With red dragon fruit, if you get a good deep colored variety, when you make wine from it, the color will remain. Friends, the color will be this intense. And if you use ingredients like mulberry, it adds a wonderful aroma and makes it really delicious. I highly recommend this one, friends. If it's red dragon fruit season, you should definitely buy some and make it. The color is really vivid and very pleasing. If you've watched Aunt Moo's video and found it enjoyable and useful, please give it a like to support Aunt Moo and share it widely so that other members can learn the correct way to make wine. Aunt Moo would also like to greet all of you, both those living abroad and in Thailand. Please take care of your health, everyone. I'm concerned about you all. That's all for this video. Until we meet again. Goodbye.